The rise, fall, and comeback of Big Boy, America's original burger icon. Welcome back to Mystic America, where we dive into the untold stories of America's most iconic brands and the cultural legends that shape them. Today, we're taking a bite out of Big Boy, the chubby-cheeked mascot who became the face of one of America's earliest and most beloved burger chains. From its humble beginnings in a tiny California diner, to a coast-to-coast phenomenon, to near collapse, and its surprising attempt at a comeback. This is the story of Big Boy, America's first Burger King, before the actual Burger King. Grab a seat, maybe a double-decker burger, and let's dig in. A little diner in Glendale, 1936. Our story starts in Glendale, California, 1936. A young man named Bob Wyan, barely 22 years old, had a dream and exactly $300 in his pocket. He sold his car, bought a small 10-stool diner called the Pantry, and immediately renamed it Bob's Pantry. At the time, Southern California was becoming the epicenter of car culture, diners, and drive-ins. But Bob had a secret weapon that would change the burger game forever. One night, a customer walked in and asked for something different from the usual hamburger. Bob, ever the improviser, sliced a bun into 3 pieces, added an extra beef patty, and layered it with lettuce, pickles, and a special sauce. The world's first double-decker hamburger was born. That customer's reaction? He couldn't stop talking about it, and neither could anyone else. Who's the Big Boy? But where did the name Big Boy come from? One day, a chubby 6-year-old boy named Richard Woodruff waddled into Bob's Pantry. His round cheeks and infectious smile caught Bob's attention. Jokingly, Bob called him Big Boy. The name stuck, and Richard became the official mascot. An employee sketched a cartoon version of him, a pudgy boy with a red and white checkered overalls, hoisting up a massive double-decker burger. Thus, Big Boy was born. Not just a burger, but a brand. The birth of franchising before McDonald's. Long before Ray Kroc turned McDonald's into a global empire, Bob Wyan was inventing a franchise model of his own. But Bob did it differently. Rather than owning every location, Bob allowed trusted restaurateurs to use the Big Boy name, recipes, and mascot, but with their own branding. That's why you had names like Frisch's Big Boy in Ohio, Shoney's Big Boy in the South, Manner's Big Boy in Cleveland, and even JB's Big Boy in Arizona. Each franchisee had creative control, but was still part of the Big Boy family. This co-op franchise system was groundbreaking at the time, and it worked. By the 1950s and 60s, Big Boy wasn't just a California thing, it was everywhere. Drive-in culture and the American dream. Big Boy's golden era coincided perfectly with post-war America's car obsession. The restaurants weren't just places to eat. They were drive-ins, with car hops on roller skates delivering burgers and milkshakes straight to your car window. Teenagers would cruise in on Friday nights. Families would pile into booths on Sundays after church, and the Big Boy statue outside every location became a photo op before Instagram existed. Big Boy symbolized the American dream, affordable, casual dining in a booming economy where the car was king. Shoney's breaks away, the first crack in the empire. But no empire is without cracks. In the 1970s, the franchise model that had fueled Big Boy's success started to unravel. One of its biggest operators, Shoney's, decided to break away. It dropped the Big Boy name entirely and rebranded itself as Shoney's Restaurants. Why? Shoney's leadership wanted more freedom to expand into territories that Bob Wyan had restricted. This breakaway was a financial blow. Shoney's was one of the largest and most profitable Big Boy franchisees. Bob Wyan, who had once ruled over a national chain, suddenly saw parts of his empire slip away. Marriott steps in, and things get complicated. In 1967, Bob Wyan made a decision that would forever change the company. He sold Big Boy to Marriott Corporation for $7 million, a staggering amount at the time. Marriott was a hospitality giant known for its hotels, but fast food wasn't its forte. Under Marriott's ownership, Big Boy saw aggressive expansion. They added coffee shops, diversified menus, and built bigger restaurants. But Marriott's focus on efficiency over local charm began to alienate longtime fans. The Big Boy franchisees, once a tight-knit family, now felt micromanaged by a corporate overlord. Internal conflicts escalated, and more franchisees like Elias Brothers in Michigan began to operate independently. The decline of an American icon. By the late 1980s and 1990s, the fast food landscape had changed. McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's dominated the market with faster service, simpler menus, and slick advertising campaigns.